Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Skyla. I run Doodle Noodle Creates, which is a small crochet business. I normally sell at craft shows and in-person events, and today I'm going to take you along with me for one of those. So it is 8:17 in the morning. I was supposed to leave like 5 minutes ago, but that's okay. Sorry, I'm like holding this all shaky. This event is the Lake Erie Monster Fest. I have my car all packed up. So let's go. It's going to take us about 25 minutes to get there. I'm here. I'm all set up. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my table. I didn't get any footage of me actually setting up because I was kind of rushing. So let me flip the camera. So here is my Lake Erie Monster, and that's where I'm sitting back there. I've got my keychains up here, my snake. That's the little bin that I got yesterday, but it was in last week's video. I have my $10 items here. We have my little soft plushies. These are all $8. I've got my dinos, octopi, and then I made this little hedgehog last night. I've got my bigger items. I made these last night. More $10, and then my $12. And then my mom has her stuff set up here. Look how beautiful. We're right next to a food truck, sorry if it's loud. And then she has her hand-drawn coloring books. Say hi, Mommy. Hi guys, sorry my snake is in eye view. I just wanted to go over. We are at 12:30, so we're about 2.5 hours in. I sold capybara, a bat, mini dino, seahorse, another seahorse, turtle, hedgehog, octopus, stingray, a lot. I've sold a lot. So I'm gonna go around and pan my table. I do need to take some bins away because I sold a whole bin. So we're gonna look at that now. So I moved my Lake Erie Monster to up here because people seem to be coming from this direction more. So I have to get rid of this whole bin. I need to fix that and add another frog. I only have 2 fluffy animals left. I gotta rearrange this too. Gotta rearrange this again. Nothing big has sold. That's a-okay. A lot of small items. Yeah, I do have to restock my keychains. I have them back here. I need to put clasps on all of them to hang them up here. But yeah, so far so good. Hi guys, so a little update. I wanted to go over some things that I sold. So I sold Octo, another stingray, one of my little sloths that I made, a cat, axolotl, and my rainbow snake. So I am doing very well, I think. So yeah, we're just gonna keep chugging along. Hi guys, not sure where I left off, but I sold my $40 rosy maple moth. I'm so happy about that. I also sold my dragon. I sold more axolotls. I'm doing so well. I did spend some money on food for me and my cousin. We had Hawaiian food. It was so good. And then we also got this soda, a dirty soda. I did not think it would be this big. This is huge. I could have shared, but we each got one, so yeah, so it's going really well. I'm super happy. I'm crocheting a whale right now. And then I finished this snake. It's a custom order. Look at this. This thing is, I believe, can you hold that to the end of the table? Just like back there. I believe it's over 3 feet because my table here is 6 feet and this is like over half. So I believe it's more than 3 feet. It's for a customer for their daughter's birthday. So yeah. Guys, we got our face painted. Mine's a frog and his is a dolphin. Ah! Now we're gonna go get some food, right? Yes. Alright guys, so it's about 6:40 and it has died down a lot. They said we could leave early, so I'm gonna pack up and meet you back at my house. Hi guys, welcome back to my house, back to my craft room. So it has been quite a few weeks since I actually went to the Lake Erie Monster Festival, but we're here to talk about it. So it's only been like 2 seconds for you, so that's okay. getting right into things, my vendor cost for this event, I can't remember if it was $25 or $35, but either way, that's a good price for how long this event was. I believe it was 11 hours total. I left at 7 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. because it died down a little bit towards the end. So it was okay though, because the vendor coordinators said that was allowed. So I didn't break any rules or anything. I hate when people do that. It's a pet peeve of mine when people just leave in the middle of the event. It's a very big pet peeve. All right, some notable customers that I had. So first off, I had a family and they came back to my table multiple times, didn't purchase anything these multiple times. That's perfectly fine. They were looking, they were browsing. The mom, she had her eye on my dragon every single time she came. She was like, oh, the dragon's still there. Oh, the dragon's still there. I might have to buy it. And the second to last time she came back, she told me if the dragon is there when I come back my last time, it's a sign. And she did come back the last time and the dragon was still there. So she purchased my purple dragon and she had her daughter pick out something and her daughter picked out my rosy maple moth. I was so excited. So I did sell my rosy maple moth. Big sale. I was so happy. Another customer that comes to mind is this mom. She came in and she was buying gifts for her kids. She said that her son saw me at this event last year and seeing me with all my crochet plushies inspired him to start learning how to crochet. I literally am like getting tears in my eyes thinking about it. Like I inspired someone. Like tears in my eyes. That's so insane. Like someone was inspired by me. So she said that he bought one of the Woobles kits and he got a little discouraged because he wasn't understanding the kit. I have never done any of the like crochet kits, not even just the Woobles, none of them at all. They didn't exist when I started crocheting, but I always tell people if you try the kit and it doesn't work, don't give up. Maybe just get a hook and some yarn from either Walmart or the Dollar Tree has yarn and just watch a YouTube video on doing the basic stitches back and forth, and just seeing if that works better for you. I know it's not instant gratification, but sometimes crochet needs to just be a slow pace. You understand things better. But I gave her some tips to give to him, and she bought a lot of things for her kids, her nieces, her nephews. So I was so happy that she came and she told me that. It warms my heart so much. All right, now on to the notable customers that weren't too great. There was a family. There was a mom, dad, grandma, and then I believe a daughter. The daughter came over and she was excited. She was looking at the plushies. The grandma said, "Aren't you too old for that?" This girl looked to be 10, maybe 11 at most. Too old for that? Don't look at my plushies in the background, Grandma. I really hate when people say that. I feel like some people think that once you turn like 10, you have to lose all of your sparkle, lose all of your sense of fun and whimsy, and that just makes me sad. Why do you want to be gray and sad? You don't have to be gray and sad to grow up. And not even to mention she's 10. She's not even a grown-up yet. She's 10. She's in elementary school still. The dad kind of stepped in and he said, "Oh, which one do you like? Do you want to pick one? Pick one out." She did end up getting something. I was just happy that her dad let her be a kid. Like, that made me a little like, "Grandma, what are you saying? She's 10. Why can't she have something fun?" The last notable customer, it was this mom and these two kids. I cannot remember if they were brother, sister, or two sisters, but they came over to my booth. They didn't even ask for anything. They were just looking, strictly looking. They didn't even say anything. The mom, she was at the booth behind me and she shouted from across the booth. She said, "You don't need any crochet plushies. I know how to crochet. I'm not buying you an overpriced one." Girl, girly pop, that's not cute. Like, as a crocheter myself, not only does that just, it hurts because you know how to crochet, you know how long it takes, how much material costs, you know how much heart and soul we put into this art.
to call it overpriced, not only to shout across the booths at your kids who didn't even ask you for anything, they were just looking. It was like secondhand embarrassment. I was like, I offered the kids a free sticker. I was like, you guys can have a free sticker. That's all I guess I can give you. I really did not like that. That rubs me the wrong way. So please, if you are a crocheter and you go to these events and you don't sell at them, don't say rude things to the other crocheters. It's not a competition. These kids didn't even ask their mom for anything. They were just looking. They could have just looked, and then that could have been that, but instead it turned into this weird, like, embarrassing, like, she's shouting to my booth that overpriced crochet. It was just really embarrassing. I was like, oh, okay, thanks for letting everyone at the market know that you think my stuff's overpriced and that you crochet. So that kind of sets like a bias that, oh, I crochet and I think this is overpriced. So maybe all the other people at the event that don't know how to crochet, they may take that and think, oh, it has to be overpriced then. I think my prices are pretty reasonable. And as long as I think my prices are reasonable, that's good enough for me. As long as I make sales, I have fun, I get my money's worth out of it, that's fine. Nobody else's business. All right, now onto my vendor neighbors. So across the little aisleway from me, there were, I believe it was two women who did sugar skull artwork on totes, canvases, shirts. They had like a whole pink booth with just sugar skull everything. It was really cool. I admired the art. It was very interesting and some of it was sparkly. I really liked it. Next to them, they had, it was one of my old substitute teachers. He does like artwork in frames. He like hand draws stuff and it's a very stylized, cartoony look. I thought it was really cool. And he said that sometimes he makes things for like libraries and community center events, and I thought that was really awesome. That's something I did not know about him. Next to me was a vendor friend that I get to see at a lot of shows, and I'm so happy. It's like a combo booth where it has plants, like hand sprouted plants, and then they had 3D printed items. I got one. Look how cute! My husband loves little green aliens, so I saw him and I had to buy him. And then they also had bath bombs, and what else? Stained glass. Why did it take my brain that long to think of stained glass as the word? I pictured what it was in my head, couldn't spit out the words. Stained glass. They also had stained glass as well. Very beautiful, very gorgeous. It was like shimmering in the light. I was gobsmacked. Is that a word still? Gobsmacked? I think so. We're using it. So those were my vendor neighbors. I was on like a corner, so I only had the one across from me and then the one next to me. So some other notes were that we got lunch at the Hawaiian food place. You are going to be seeing the Hawaiian food place a lot more. I know they're coming to my next event. They're going to be at my apple orchard event in September, so I'm very excited about that. You already know I'm going to be eating lunch there. And we also got this soda. It was a dirty soda. It was humongous. I got one for me and one for my cousin. We honestly could have shared. I did not think they were that big. They were literally like, I had to hold the cup like this, and it was like as big as my head, but it was really good. It was so good. All right guys, now for what everyone is waiting for, my best and worst sellers. So we'll start off with my worst sellers. My absolute worst seller of the day, brought 4, sold 0, is my frogs. They got lots of looks, lots of attention, but not a single sale. And that's okay. They'll have their sunshine sometime, but it just was not this market for them. That's all right. My second worst seller, I brought like 10 of them. I only sold 1, was my stegosauruses, which I was very surprised about because last event I could not keep like stegosauruses on the shelf. At my job, the little shelf I have, I've been replacing stegosaurus after stegosaurus, and I sold 1. That's it. And I only sold 1 because one of the last customers, it was the mom with the kids that she was buying for. the niece, the nephew, she came up and she was like, oh, I gotta buy stuff for my niece and nephew. And I was like, oh, what about a stegosaurus? She was like, oh, those are cute, those are cute. And I told her not a single person has bought one today. And she was like, oh, I'll buy one. So it was a pity purchase, I guess. A pity purchase for the stegosauruses. But they got one. They got 1 out of 10. The best sellers, all right, best seller was, third place was my keychains. I had some fruit keychains, some small animal keychains. They did really good. They always do. The axolotls, they always do very well as well. Everybody loves axolotls. It's so funny when kids come up and they're like, it looks like a Minecraft axolotl, Minecraft. And then I inform them, oh, I love Minecraft too. I played Minecraft since I was like 11. And they're like, no. It's always so funny. But then I'll be like, oh, this and that about Minecraft. And they're like, I guess. But if you quiz me on like the new stuff for Minecraft, no. I haven't played since like 2016. So all the new stuff, I have no idea what's happening. And then top seller was my little fluffy seahorses. I brought 4 and I sold all 4 of them within like the first hour and a half. It was crazy. And they weren't even like displayed very well. They were in like this little bin of just like fluffy items. You had my seahorses, my octopi, and then like I think a whale in there, just tossed in there. It wasn't even like out on display. But the kids purposely went into this bin and were digging for the seahorses specifically. I don't know, but I need to bring more seahorses and watch. I'm gonna make a whole bunch of seahorses, bring them to my next event, and not a single one is gonna sell. Because I've had seahorses before it was a Christmas event, I believe, and I didn't sell a single one. So that's what's always hard with events, is trying to figure out what's gonna sell, because it's so unpredictable sometimes. You'll bring something that sold really well last time and you won't even get any compliments on it or comments. People won't even look in its direction. But then sometimes you bring an item that hasn't sold well in months at any market and it just flies off the shelf. It's very, very unpredictable. But I guess that's just like a surprise aspect of it. It's really cool to see what sells best at what events and try to figure out why that may be, even if I never figure out the answer. Alright guys, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for coming along with me and going to the Lake Erie Monster Fest. I know I had fun. I hope you did too. Alright, thank you so much. Subscribe down below so you can follow me for my next crochet journey, and leave any comments on things you want to know about. If you just want to chat, I'd love to talk. Alright guys, thank you. Bye-bye.